and welcome. Let's begin with our virtual housekeeping. Mute your mic when you're not speaking. Please have your video turned on at all times. If you want to be anonymous and keep your video off, you're more than welcome to do so. Please use your headset if possible, especially if you're in a crowded and noisy area. To ask a question, use raise hand button. Usually you will find this button on your Zoom control bar. Alternatively, you can use the chat box and ask a question as well. For high resolution of this video stream on Zoom, use the switch to share content button on top left of your screen. With the experience that we had with Zoom, the legibility of text presented in the presentation is much clearer on a screen size of 12-inch or above. So we will appreciate if you use the 12-inch or above screen size for legible text, which you will be able to read. Hello and welcome to you all. I believe I'm audible today. We had been having some issues with our audio. Let me just take a feedback from our colleagues on Zoom, and I'm already taking feedback from the other media platforms, social media. Welcome to you all. And congratulations, you took out time for your the bid and proposal industry, people who are business development, and to some extent, of course, the salespeople as well. And the salespeople, business development people, and the pre-sales, for that matter, I can say bid professional. They all work hand in hand to convert the forecast that is on the business plan in any organization to the numbers that they want to hit. So these people are crucial. These people, the work that they do indeed is crucial, and them working together is as well crucial. So we have seen in our previous sessions, just to remind you, BPC Asia, that is Bid and Proposal Conference, is coming up in Mumbai, very next door. It is coming on the 15th and 16th of September. So people from, I take the liberty of inviting everyone who is on our stream at the moment, who is on Zoom, LinkedIn, Facebook, YouTube, to join BPC Asia. Come network with the like-minded participants. See that you are not the only one who is going through the challenges of preparing a bid. There are other people as well, and of course you can get confidence from them, yes, that you are doing the same thing what others are doing. And APMP body of knowledge, which we are studying, gives you the guideline and gives you the like a thought process and a structured information by how you can actually make a bid and proposal process more meaningful, and you get more conversions as far as your bids are concerned. Isn't that what all the organizations are looking for? With that, okay, so you all are welcome. We will keep moving forward. So the first section, or the knowledge base of the body from the APMP body of knowledge, it is a book, which is a body of knowledge, which is a book. It's online available. If you are a member of APMP, you can subscribe to this book. You can read through this book online from them. And people who are from from India, they have a special membership price, so they can of course take the benefit of that as well. And just to let you know that the BPC Asia, there's on 11th midnight India time, the early bird price will be finishing, and it's $110 at the moment, and then the price will increase to $300. So you better get going on to it. People nearby, and of course from Middle East as well, you're also welcome to attend it and make the most of it. So the second, in the understanding business development, we saw and we read that how an organization, maybe a part of the organization, maybe a process of the organization, changes itself from an unknown position to an established position where it has become a de facto in its marketplace. So I will take some examples like Xerox. That's one of the example. If you talk Xerox, this thing that comes to your mind is the print and the photocopying machines. For people who are from India, if I call Bajaj, you think about a scooter, okay? And that's and if you think about perhaps let's talk about iPhone, you think about a flashy phone. So these are the products that have started from an unknown position and are commanding now. And when they come into the commanding position, they are actually putting a lot of money into development. And of course, that is required because you need to keep that command. I mean, once it's being on the top is more difficult than to reach to the top. So yeah, that's how it goes. So they put a lot of money to graduate themselves or increase themselves from an unknown position to a known position to a favored position. That's every organization is trying to do, and that is what all the give me just one moment. That is what all the organizations are trying to do. Maybe one of they are already established in one of the domains and they want to establish in the other domain. That is how they establish themselves. So we are at the focus on the customer section at the moment. And I decided to take the executive summaries again for the simple reason it's the gist, and it tells it conveys to the client how responsive your bid is. That one page of your bid, which will convey to the client that how better is your bid positioned and how responsive it is, how much aligned it is to the client's requirement. Now, these requirement at times may not be spelled very explicitly in the RFQ and the scope of work or the specification. But at times, if you can read between the lines and you can tell to the customer, sir, you have not mentioned that. I mean, of course, not explicitly, but in your executive summary that we have found out that this is one of the pain areas that you have, your hot buttons, and we would be able to address that in XYZ ways. So let's go quickly into the executive summaries. Of course, when you're doing, again, best practices, you start doing your executive summaries very early and to ensure the customer focus. Now, this can be, when it comes to very early, it also means when you're doing as I say, that when does the project start? The day the customer or the major stakeholders thinks about to either prepare to build a building, to develop a software, or they identify their problem, and their problem needs a solution, perhaps change in their organization in terms of process and all. So from that very day, the executive summary should start being written. I mean, that's a draft. I mean, we're not saying it's the final one, it's a draft one. Write and review early. I mean, that's one of the document that should be run through there. We will come to the tools and techniques later on, and we will come to who all should be reviewing that. That's a very important part. Reviewing is a very important part because the writer who writes it, he's under stress. He needs to, or she needs to complete that write-up with very less information, and at times he is not as close to, or she is not as close to the client as the sales executive or the sales team or the business development team is. So they might want to articulate some of the information better so that their tender or the bid looks responsive. Use your executive summaries to make an impression. Of course, it's an impression, one pager. Everyone can take out time to read one pager. It's more or less like your elevator pitch written onto a page. Clearly indicate your proposal responsiveness and compliance, how your proposal is responsive and how you're complying to it. Perhaps you want to use facts. For example, if there is a financial, it is required in the bid that you showcase your financial strength, that you can take the bid from, you can take the project once you've got the project or the process. At least you can invest 50% by before the time you start getting your payments from the client. So you need to give your financial stability that yes, you can invest into this project. You can get the resources if you don't have some, or you can piggyback onto some other organization who has these skills, and you would be taking them onto yourself. Assign writing and review responsibility strategically. That's what we discussed already. And we will be looking at it in a later stage of the body of knowledge as well, when tools and techniques starts coming up and review cycles coming up. Mirror your executive summary themes in the proposal, cover, title, and cover letter. Now, that's very important. Now, what it's trying to do, it's a basic, the basic definition of beauty. We as a human being like things symmetrical. Okay, so if they find this symmetry between your proposal cover, title, and the cover letter, your fonts are the same, the font width is the same, the color is the same. If you mirror that into your mirror that throughout, it's going to give your customer more confidence. I mean, it's nothing that very explicit. Some of the customer might even want to overlook it, but it does give. Now, these are the best practices. Some of the misconception about the executive summaries: it is not a summary of your proposal. So it's not a proposal summary, and it's not your corporate history. Include your corporate history into the executive summary as well, wherein you start going, oh, we have done this project, and so on and so forth. You just need to make sure that your tender, your response to the bid is being replied to. Okay. So I'm getting no video as well. I'm getting a feedback from somebody saying that there's no video. I don't know. Seems fine here. I can see on Facebook, I see that there is. As far as I'm concerned, Ratish, you have joined in on LinkedIn, and I can see on the LinkedIn that the video is very well working. I don't know which video are you referring to. Are you referring to the NFPA 101? It would be beginning very soon, again in 15 minutes. Okay, so up until so that's about the executive summary, and we need to. That's all for the day. In our next session, we will be looking at the feature, benefits, and discriminators of your bid. And that is the focus on the customer. Under the focus of the customer, we have still not started compiling our bid. That is what we are discussing at the moment. Okay. So with that, we come to the end of our session today. You have been a very awesome audience. Ritesh on LinkedIn, thank you very much for reaching out. Apparently, NFPA 101 is starting in another 15 minutes. And it would be live broadcasted everywhere on LinkedIn, YouTube, and Facebook, and of course, it would be as well on Zoom. So with that, take care of yourself. Up until next week for APMP. Goodbye.